Paulus has that innate ability as a guard, particularly because he was a quarterback, to sense what he sees on the floor. He's got great court savvy, and it's illustrated there as he and fellow freshman Roberts work the give and go.
That's pretty good savvy by McRoberts right there. You don't expect to find your point guard wide open inside.
Collins with the answer.
And that's 2 baskets now for Coleman Collins, facing the hoop about 12 or 15 feet away. Somebody away from the basket for Duke.
Jukite had the jersey of Sheldon Williams. That's number 2. And this is something Seth Greenberg told us tonight that he'd be wary of. Early foul difficulty. He's athletic, but he's also very raw.
Very little experience for Jukite, the freshman. And he's matched up against Sheldon Williams, one of the best players in the country and a senior.
Reddick posting up on Sales, gives it up to the landlord.
I see Virginia Tech.
Dockery with the pilfer. And Durham Washington steals it back, only to lose his footing. Dockery, McRoberts. Durham Washington has his pocket picked again and commits the foul. A lot of grand larceny going on down there.
You got an opportunity to see some of the athleticism of Durham Washington. He kept taking the ball away. Some strength on the part of Dockery. Twice he ripped it out of the hands of Durham Washington.
Durham, sophomore from New Orleans, comes from an athletic family. His father, Lionel Washington, now on the Green Bay Packers coaching staff, played 15 years in the NFL. His mother, Denise, played collegiately down in New Orleans. Is now a teacher and evacuated New Orleans, as so many did. She was a teacher in the lower ninth ward, and she's here tonight, rooting on her son. Game, the walk-on, and the tip-in goes to Collins.
Duke is really going to have to consider guarding Coleman Collins. He's got all 6 points.
Chris Tucker checked in for Jukite. Number 42 in the orange of the Hokies.
Now Collins is matched up against Sheldon Williams. Jukite drew the assignment first.
Dockery sails the long rebound, has Harris deep. Williams giving Tucker a lot of room, daring him to shoot. Harris, nice move by Sean Harris.
Tim, we talked about his strength, and that was an illustration of strength combined with quickness. That was a very nifty maneuver to get in there, and then he had the power to put it up on the board.
Halfway down the cylinder and out for JJ.
Tim, thus far, a pretty good start by Virginia Tech, although they turn it over there.
Sheldon Williams got his big mid in there. Paulus looks on the wing for Melchione, gives it up to Reddick. Again, the ability to get up out of position, blocked out. Washington with enough hops to come away with the rebound. He's going to work on Melchione, gives it up to Collins on the wing. And Coleman Collins, outstanding, has 8 points.
Tim, and 3 of them put jump shots, the other one a tip in.
4 for 4 from the floor is Coleman Collins.
More importantly, he doesn't have a foul yet in the game.
Yeah, if one of your bigs is going to be in foul difficulty, you'd rather it be Jukite than Coleman Collins. Williams, nice crossover move. And we're tied at 10. Very quickly played first 5 minutes here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Sales gives it to Tucker. Gone. Gets the prayer answered. The iron kind to the original walk-on from Fincastle, Virginia.
Yeah, I think he was surprised to get the ball in there. Harris picks up the foul.
Don't blink. Those 5 minutes went in a hurry here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. The tenacity early exhibited on both ends of the floor. And Collins has been absolutely perfect.
How are the digital cameras cutting?
They're, cuckoo. Look, it's a cuckoo.
You know, I whittled a tripod earlier.
I whittled 2 tripods.
You know, sir, this year we can use the easy button to get all the digital cameras we need.
Megapixels.
Do it.
This holiday, get all your digital gifts with the Easy Button. Staples has a huge selection of brand-name digital cameras. And this week, get a free Epson all-in-one printer when you buy any Sony camera after Easy Rebate. Staples, that was easy.
At Progress Energy, we know that people depend on power. Businesses depend on power. Cities and towns depend on power. Which is why we've made power more reliable. Storm response and customer service. Making sure everything goes on as usual. Meetings, the big game, even late-night trips to the fridge. The relentless pursuit of excellence, it's what we're all about. Progress Energy. People, performance, excellence.
I want you all to take a look at my face and realize that spit tobacco has done this to me. I've had 35 different surgeries. I went from 190 pounds to 113 pounds. The day my mom found out I was sick was probably one of the most trying days of her life. When I started using spit tobacco, I was the age of 13 and was diagnosed at the age of 17 with oral cancer.
What's it gonna take?
Tobacco.
Reality.
On initiative.
Basketball heats up on FSN South with a bitter in-state rivalry. Youth will lead the way as Dennis Felton's determined dogs battle Paul Hewitt's rebuilt Yellow Jackets. Georgia Tech, Georgia, Wednesday at 7 on FSN South.
Virginia Tech leads by 2. And Coleman Collins, a big part of the reason, has 8 points already. And you can see earlier in the season the kind of production that Coleman Collins has demonstrated. 22-17 in the first game's an off night against Western Carolina, but in his last 2 games, 14 off to a very, very quick start tonight.
Absolutely. Eric Boateng has come in for Duke, and the good news for Seth Greenberg, Dowdell and Jamon Gordon are on the floor after serving their suspension of a starting opportunity for missing that class earlier this week. And they come in with a 2-point lead. Now the game is tied. Gordon throws up a brick. Melchione waits for some help. Reddick. JJ struggling from the perimeter early on. Ball lost out of bounds. Last touched by Duke.
Duke shooting 5 of 12 early in the game. Last year when they lost that game up in Blacksburg, they only shot 40%. And just as important, Virginia Tech with a big advantage on the boards right at the moment. 8-1 over the Blue Devils.
Foul win against Sean Dockery. Tim Brando, Dan Bonner, Larry Conley, happy to have you with us. Like a bonus having Larry Conley with us tonight.
Larry, I'll tell you what, Coleman Collins starting off very, very strong.
He has, and you know, Dan, the one thing I was noticing about Duke, they came out in full court pressure to start, and now they backed off of it. And if Virginia Tech keeps going inside, they look like they've got some strength down in there.
Well, they do have some strength, particularly if Coleman Collins is going to make baskets. The way it normally goes, you get a team that comes out and they're all over you defensively, and if you can just beat that double team and score a couple of points, the defense just naturally backs up.
Well, as you and I have talked about on many occasions, this Duke defense really begins with the perimeter and works its way in. Right now, I think if Virginia Tech has the advantage inside, Duke has the advantage outside.
And a foul committed by the Blue Devils as Washington using that quick first step.
Potsus picks up the foul.
Martinez Potsus.
This is a perfect where Tech can be so dangerous. A guy like Washington puts the ball down and just beats his man out on the perimeter.
Potsus, one of the freshmen trying to find more minutes any way he can. Tucker is stripped inside. Melchione kept it alive, but Tucker finds it. Swings it back out to Dowdell. A fall away for Xavier Dowdell. And the junior from Hokies, Florida gets the Hokies lead by 2.
Dowdell is a guy who scored more than 16 points a game in ACC competition last year. A very, very dangerous scorer.
Potsus finds Melchione up top.
Boy, Duke still struggling shooting the basketball and no second opportunities. 0 for 5 now from beyond the three-point arc, with Virginia Tech doing a great job on the board.
Well, Dockery keeps getting his hands in there. That's the way you have to handle him, though. Dowdell should... Collins steps out high. His first miss from the floor. Melchione clears it for Duke.
Tim, it looks like he slipped as he was trying to get in position to shoot that one.
Melchione again. He struggled from downtown early this season. He's both an inside as well as outside player, depending on the matchup. I talked to Mike Krzyzewski about that before tonight's game. He said, yeah, we're still a bit thin because DeMarcus Nelson's injury, but guys like, considering who we may be playing in a given situation, can play both inside and out. Boateng picks up his second.
Well, with McRoberts and Williams at the scorers table waiting to come back in for Duke, and here they come. I really think Duke has to just pound the ball inside. You can't settle for that outside shot, particularly against the Virginia Tech team where you already have Jakite in foul trouble. Their two inside players now are Coleman and Tucker. I think you really have to attack them on the inside.
Aldell tried to get that one in quickly. I think Sheldon Williams hit it with his mitt. And Mike Krzyzewski, I believe, is saying it may have hit the backboard. He's pleading his case to Carl Hess. Sales on the floor along with the walk-on Tucker, Collins, Gordon, and Dowdell. Air ball by Xavier Dowdell. Redick feeding and fanning the post. And just as you mentioned, they go right inside, and they get the foul as an end result.
I'll tell you what, if you are going to prevent Sheldon Williams from scoring inside, you've got to double team him before. Once you let a big guy get turned into the lane, the officials very rarely are going to allow the ball to be knocked away. Yeah. You can steal it on the dribble. You're not going to take it out of the big guy's hands.
Sheldon Williams may not have to play quite as many minutes as deep into the season this year as last because of the presence of McRoberts, but it's those two becoming accustomed to one another on the floor. Those kinks that are being worked out in December for Mike Krzyzewski right now.
Tim, a lot of people are saying that Williams may not have to play as many minutes, but it'll be very interesting since he's going to play most. They've got to develop somebody else who can come in there and play if Williams is going to have a lot of rest.
Sales on the dribble drive.
Tough shot.
Sheldon Williams the rebound.
That's the kind of a shot that you really can't take against the Duke Blue Devils. You give them an opportunity to get out and run.
8 minutes gone by. We're tied at 14. Redick, good defensive work by Tucker. 2-on-1. Sales.
Boy, Virginia Tech really playing a solid game right at the moment. And for Duke, I think that if I were Mike Krzyzewski, I would insist that Sheldon Williams touch the ball every time down. He doesn't have to shoot it, but boy, he ought to touch it.
Boykin turns it over. Well, Duke's younger players have struggled since coming in. Boykin and Boateng particularly have struggled. Collins, nice feed inside, and it draws the contact. And Jake had some contact, and he's hitting the deck. He seems to be okay there, working it out as we go to break. It's the Hokies out on the break and playing tough on the road.
Call office.
Office.
Call Erica. Call Wayne.
Fort Wayne.
Fort Worth. 75 degrees.
72 degrees.
83.
88.6 FM.
Volume up.
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 Volume down.
Chinese.
Seafood.
Mexican.
Italian. Zoom out. Out.
Of all its abilities,
Call home.
listening may be its most impressive. The voice-activated Acura TL.
Got a gaming fan on your list? We've got gifts to make their games come alive. More games, more stuff. This holiday, there are more gifts to give at Best Buy.
Getting the whole family to agree on toppings isn't easy. So,
Pepperoni, follow me!
Are you sure she's sausage and peppers?
Do I have any ham and pineapple?
then we had a better idea.
Yeah, give them the new extra large, more for all pizza from Pizza Hut. 4 individual pizzas topped any way you want. Create 1 extra large pizza, all just $13.99. Now everyone gets more of what they love. Gather around the good stuff.
Give a holiday card everyone in the family will love. Pick up the Pizza Hut card today. This week on FSN's Pro Football Preview. Get the stories only our insiders have. With breaking news.
I would like to apologize.
And expert analysis. FSN Pro Football FSN.
FSN South has your all-access pass to the ACC. Every Monday night, get up close and in-depth with the personalities that make up the Atlantic Coast Conference. Catch it all on ACC All Access, Monday nights at 6:30 Eastern.
Virginia Tech still leads it by 2 here early in Durham. J.J. Redick on the bench. A little banged up there. And speaking of J.J. Redick and Sheldon Williams, we were talking about the minutes that they're going to play. This is the value they still have to the team. Redick and Williams scoring more than half the Duke points. Obviously, focus of all the defensive efforts.
And really, the third scorer was to have been DeMarcus Nelson. And so that's why the team is still in a transitional state while unbeaten at 6-0 coming in. Nelson really a tremendous athlete, helped him out defensively, but also a third scoring alternative for the Blue Devils. They hope to have him back in February.
Tim McRoberts has a substantial Tucker. Tucker only about 6'5".
Wallace working on Sales. McRoberts trying to go high-low with Sheldon Williams. Dockery, shot clock winding down. Oh, the rainbow in the lane ties the game. Gordon off the bounce. McRoberts clears to Paulus. The dump down. And again, every time the landlord touches it, he's likely to, at the very least, Dan, get to the line.
Sheldon Williams, Tim, is so tough when he's able to establish his position inside in a half-court set, but he runs the court so well. Very little opportunity to get matched up against him that time because he just got 8 points in the game. He's 3 of 4 from the field. J.J. Redick only 1 of 5 from the field and has yet to hit a 3-point shot.
Yeah, he's 0 for 3 from downtown. Marcus Sales picked up the foul, his first. Another Tucker youngster that is checking out of the game, got some big minutes for Seth Greenberg there as he sits down for Virginia Tech. Deron Washington back on the floor.
Well, now Deron Washington coming back in. That creates an interesting matchup for Virginia Tech. Washington will probably be going against McRoberts in the man-to-man. Now Sheldon Williams looks like he's going to drop back inside.
Melnick back on the floor now for the Devils. 7 ties, 3 lead changes. We're halfway through the opening half.
Notice Virginia Tech trying to keep the court spread.
Good look inside to Washington. Goes reversal, and there's the follow by Coleman Collins. He has 10.
See, the key there was Washington with his quickness beat Sheldon Williams to the basket, forced McRoberts to come and help. Therefore, nobody was available to block out Coleman Collins.
Facing the basket and off the bounce. Sheldon gives Duke a 2-point lead.
We talked about that matchup, Coleman Collins and Sheldon Williams, and they have both had big games thus far.
Washington, it's a mismatch against Williams, but he can't finish. Williams the rebound.
Washington has the advantage out on the perimeter, but you're right, Tim. You've got to finish that play if you get past Sheldon Williams.
That one's knocked away by Xavier Dowdell. Dowdell that hit the big shot that ultimately was the game winner in Blacksburg for Seth Greenberg. Seth told us today, I thought it was interesting, that the blowout loss here in Cameron, he got tossed with about 10 or so minutes remaining in the game. You were here for it. May have been what turned his team into an 8-8 club and a postseason ACC team in their first year.
Really understood the value. That game really taught him the value of having to play hard the entire game. Nice pass!
Washington! Boy, he and Gordon and Dowdell spread the floor beautifully there.
Mike Krzyzewski up complaining, felt as if there was a foul down on the other end, but Virginia Tech doing a great job taking advantage of the fast break.
Redick, the ball fake and the deuce.
See, that's what Redick couldn't do his first 2 years, Tim. His game is a really complete game right now. You've got to watch him so carefully out on the perimeter beyond the three-point line that he can now go by you and get all the way to the basket and make tough shots.
Yeah, and you know he can play 40 minutes if need be. Indiana in that victory. Williams the rebound.
Got to be careful if you're Virginia Tech shooting the ball too early in the possession. You got to get that Duke defense to move.
McRoberts, nice feed from Dockery. 4 in the game for Josh McRoberts, the freshman from Carmel, Indiana.
And he's got an advantage down on the inside against Durham, Washington, just bigger and stronger.
Blue Devils by 4. Their largest lead. It's been that close. Sales taking it. We've got a timeout with 7:32 remaining. Blue Devils are number 1, but Virginia Tech is matching them. Early on, it's a close one.
A shift has been made, and better stories will be told. A shift has been made, and hardcore just got harder. A shift has been made, and taking 8 camping is only a problem for the tent. A shift has been made, and the concrete jungle is finally tamed. A shift has been made. And when you think adventure, on-road or off, think Nissan.
100 years ago, you were living out here in a desert, chopping each other's heads off, and that's exactly where you're going to be in another 100.
Why is it some dirty little secret that it's in America's interest to do business overseas?
They want to kill someone that hasn't done anything wrong.
You will have squandered the greatest natural resource in history.
Our real client, after all, is us.
Syriana, rated R, starts December 9th.
Wow, that's beautiful. Hey, look at that one. Whoa. I like. That was cool.
The all-new 7-passenger Jeep Commander with available command view skylights. It's your world. Take command.
Tim Brando, Dan Bonner, Larry Conley. Duke leading by 4. Coming up after our game, Pac-10 basketball returns to FSN. A good one. 6th ranked Gonzaga, Adam Morrison and company, and Lorenzo Romar's Washington Hunters. Coverage begins with the Acura College Basketball Tip-Off Show right after our game only on FSN. Larry, you wanted to tell us about interior passing that you've noticed from the Blue Devils.
You know, Tim, you and Dan witnessed from up there and I down here on the floor that when Duke gets the basketball inside, we know about their guards' ability to pass. But I got to tell you, Williams and McRoberts are outstanding at giving the ball up to one another. I think that's one of the strengths of this club is their interior passing, not just from their guards, but from their inside people, too.
Dowdell comes up empty. That foul just a few moments ago going to break was against Sheldon Williams, his first. And the Blue Devils trying to get a 6-point lead for the first time tonight. Reddick doubled and gets contact, draws the foul yet again. It'll go against Gordon. We're at Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham, North Carolina. The #1 Blue Devil leading Virginia Tech. It's been a back and forth game. A lot of lead changes. 4 ties in the opening moments of our game. Just over 7 minutes remaining here in the opening half. J.J. Reddick has not hit a 3-pointer tonight. Does get his first free throw. He has 5 on the evening.
You know, and J.J. Reddick, he's having a terrible year from the free throw line. He's only 85%. Of course, this is
down from 99.5, right?
Wow, this is a guy who's the all-time leader career-wise in the NCAA at 93%. So not only does he get to the basket to score, but he can draw those fouls. And if he's going to the free throw line, you just chalk it up.
Well, it's legendary stuff. Now his workout regimen, maybe he's become too too sculpted. There's a steal, and Reddick is fouled by Harris.
Tim, and I'll tell you what, Virginia Tech has started out very well, but they're in a little bit of a danger zone here because they have started to turn the ball over. And when the Blue Devils, you allow them to run. And J.J. Redick, we've just been talking about him, takes the ball quickly to the basket. You just can't put him on the free throw line. Sean Harris, trying to guard Redick, now has 3 personal fouls.
Yes, he and Chiquite also has 2. This is the young man from Puerto Rico coming into the game, A.D. Vasallo. Outstanding shooter, played on the 21 and under Puerto Rican national team. Outstanding shooter, and it was really interesting hearing Seth Greenberg today talking about his upside and that he really wants him to, J.J. Redick, get his diet and conditioning in the proper place, and he could be special.
Virginia Tech's got to get some offense in the proper place right at the moment. They are suddenly down by 8 in this game.
As you know, it can happen in a heartbeat in this building. 8-0 run. Gordon to Collins. Probably a good idea to get it to Coleman Collins.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a pass that was caught in traffic. What great hands by Coleman Collins to catch that ball and then to dump it in the back. Williams hanging all over it.
Redick working on Vasallo now. Dowdell checking Dockery. Gives it up to Paulus.
What great block out by Durham, Washington.
And by the way, that's not a body that used to be able to block out very well. He's gained some weight and some strength since last year. Vasallo gives it up to Washington. Nice look to Dowdell. That's a tray, 28-25. So after falling down by 8, the Hokies with 5.
Just what Dr. Seth Greenberg would have ordered, a little 5-point run there to draw back.
And a moving screen that time is called. Mike Krzyzewski doesn't like it at all. He's not accustomed to seeing that. J.J. Redick gets his 2nd foul.
Mike Krzyzewski very, very upset. But we were talking about Coleman Collins on the inside. This is a tough patch. Watch him catch that pass right in between McRoberts and Sheldon Williams, and then with the power to dunk it home. Collins was 4 out of 4 with his headband on. That's his first field goal with that.
Thank you, Mr. Blackwell, with that outstanding color commentary. Look at the handle on Coleman Collins. Both he and Williams have played facing the basket well tonight. Dowdell comes up empty.
Duke suddenly doing a very, very good job on the defensive board after a little flurry early in the game. Virginia
Vasallo and Redick getting with it now. And now
I think they've called technical fouls on each of them.
Greenberg a little upset. Wants a little answer from Carl Hellis. He wants an answer from Carl Hess. Redick comes right back with a little woofing to go with it.
Redick is the guy who every time down the court, he's going to get bumped. They're really trying to bump Redick and push him off his game. Certainly Vasallo bumped him, but I thought J.J. Redick went down awfully easy on that particular situation.
All right, you see Mike Krzyzewski with Carl Hess, and immediately Seth Greenberg wants to be in on the conversation.
Well, let's take a look down the court. Vasallo hits him. No question, Vasallo hits him. He went down hard, and now they're after one another. Larry, what did you see down there?
Well, you know, I agree with you, Dan. I thought Redick went down pretty easy. Vasallo looked like he was backing up a little bit. He stopped, and when he did, Redick ran right into his chest. I don't think he came forward. It looked like, to me, he was stationary when he came down.
Technical foul on Vasallo. We're still trying to find out if one was given to J.J. Redick. This is one of those situations where it can become a liability as we try to find out if, in fact, it's a double intentional or double technical foul. We know that Vasallo got one.
Well, I think Redick got one too, and that's 3 fouls now on J.J.
Double
Redick.
technical. Yes, we just learned that it was a double technical. And I believe it all began with that moving pick that Redick was called for that angered Mike Krzyzewski. That's where it all began.
Tim, that in this game last year, Virginia Tech had 22 fouls called against them in the first half. And I think what Mike Krzyzewski's afraid of is that maybe there might be some reluctance to blow the whistle.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great shot.
There were 34 total fouls in that game called against Virginia Tech.
And I think that's a perception on the part of Mike Krzyzewski. I am not for a moment claiming that that's happening, but I know it's very... J.J. Redick is the subject of an awful lot of physical play.
Dowdell working on Dockery. Good move. Rejected by Paulus. And he was on the inline. Out of bounds. It goes to Duke. And Seth Greenberg trying to settle his guys down. The Cameron Crazies obviously have gotten emotional. And any time you come to Cameron Indoor, it's about toughness. Can you be against this onslaught?
Wow, and it's the onslaught now, Tim.
Dockery rejected by Washington. Numbers, Vasayo on the wing. Dowdell is solo. They had a 3-on-1, and Dowdell took it himself.
That was a great decision by Dowdell. Paulus actually played that pretty well. Now, particularly without J.J. Redick, I think you've got to look hard on the inside. See, Paulus has to get in better position than that. If you're going to throw it inside to Sheldon Williams, then get yourself in a spot where you can hit a three.
Potsus off the window. Martinez Potsus. Young Lithuanian gives Duke a 5-point lead.
Boy, that guy has some offensive skills.
Collins.
Oh, my, what a tough shot. And a great decision. If he tries to go all the way to the basket, he gets a charge.
Boy, his game from last year to this year, much improved. And he was outstanding a season ago. Paulus.
One pass too many.
Yep, and the pass was knocked away by Dowdell. And on the other end, Gordon is fouled by Dockery. Paulus was looking for Melchione. And Dowdell stepped in to knock it away. It's been for Mike Krzyzewski's team tonight. Seth Greenberg's team is being heard from. And what they hope is a December night to remember.
Dad?
Hey, buddy.
Could you read me a story? Football.
That's okay. I can freeze time.
Whoa.
Introducing the DirecTV Plus DVR.
Do it again.
Finally, an easy-to-use DVR that gives you the power to pause and rewind live TV, so you'll never miss a second of what's important. Somebody up there loves you. DirecTV. Get a free DirecTV Plus DVR when you sign up now. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Be brilliant with a past, present, future collection from Zales.
Big, bad, real trucks. Hello, Max. Introducing the 345 Vortec Max.
All right, Mike, thank you. It's a 3-point lead, and Mike Krzyzewski sat down for a long period of time. I know Larry's known him for a longer period of time than I have, Dan, and even longer than you. I can't wait to hear that conversation.
Well, a conversation that's going on right now, and it's been going on since we went away, is between Mike Krzyzewski and Gary Maxwell, the official. Mike Krzyzewski is very unhappy with what he perceives as much too physical against J.J. Redick. Redick now on the bench with 3 personal fouls, but Mike Krzyzewski's case is that J.J. Redick has really been pounded around.
That said, those are the first free throws of the night for Virginia Tech, and John Garden gets one of the 2. Duke is 10 of 10 at the free throw line. Potsus. Dowdell lost it by Dockery, and Washington gets called on really a foul he'd love to have back.
That's a foul you'd like not to commit.
Oh,
you got
absolutely.
The guy trapped in the corner.
Yep.
In fact, trapped in the corner right in front of Larry Conley.
Absolutely.
Guys, I got to tell you, sitting down here and watching Virginia Tech survive these couple of tempests that they've had to survive, the one thing I've noticed about this club as opposed to last year, they seem more mature to me.
Yeah.
This is a basketball team that collapsed last year, and they got hammered here in Durham. But this is a club that doesn't look like they're going to be too bad on the road this year, and they really last year.
Seth Greenberg was telling us, Larry, earlier today at the shoot-around, and you heard him. He said, our guys weren't gawking at Cameron Indoor when we walked in. You know, last year, a lot of times teams come in, first year in the conference, and you're about to play a game here. You can get caught up in this mini Taj Mahal, if you will, of basketball. We've seen it happen with a lot of non-conference opponents that have come in here, Dan.
Yeah, the funny thing is you watch the team shoot before the game, on the day of the game, and after they're done with their shoot-around, everybody's standing around taking pictures of the court and everything, but no wide-eyed surprise on the part of Virginia Tech.
Dowdell over Paulus. Off the front iron, Melchione clears. Paulus with Potsus, Williams, Melchione, and Josh McRoberts on the floor for the Devils. Pass dangerous. Very easily could have been picked off by Gordon.
Well, that's a situation where Sheldon Williams that time didn't see the guy who was the most open, and that was Martinez Potsus. Potsus did a nice job getting the ball inside and then finding an open spot.
Gordon's hands so quick. Now the double team of Williams. Paulus. Tucker lost it, but when he did, it hit Paulus when he was on the inline.
For Duke, but that was a much better job by Paulus. Throwing the ball inside the Williams, getting in a spot where he could receive a pass back, and then taking the ball right to the goal.
Chris Tucker, the walk-on, back on the floor for Virginia Tech. Chiquite with those early fouls has been a spectator much of this half. Winton Witherspoon, another youngster that's had a foot injury. They expect to get a lot more minutes out of him tonight on the floor for the first time. Tucker. And a foul as Melchione hit the deck.
I think they're going to call that foul on Melchione.
Yep. No, it's Potsus, I believe, or McRoberts that picked up the foul. And Mike wants to know the same thing we did. Who's the foul on?
Well, McRoberts is all right. He's only got one.
Yep. Look at the field goal shooting. Virginia Tech, 47%. And really, in large measure, it's due to this man, Coleman Collins, who has been outstanding. 7 of 8 from the floor, 14 points, 3 rebounds.
Now, battle on the inside. You can see McRoberts just gets that elbow under the old whip, that's called. Yep. Coleman Collins goes down on the deck. For the most part, the Blue Devils have done a good job on the defensive boards tonight. Virginia Tech with a couple of tip opportunities early. But that's really the first shot at an offensive rebound they've had in quite some time.
I got to tell you also, Dan, and listening to what Larry had to say a moment ago about Virginia Tech, it seems there are some interchangeable Seth Greenberg's team, particularly in that backcourt. They've really not skipped a beat when Sales has been in the game rather than Jamon Gordon. Or Dowdell. Williams stripped by Marcus Sales. And a timeout by Seth Greenberg. 1:12 remaining. Virginia Tech down by 2. Well, it's only just begun. ACC Sunday Night Hoops. We return with an early season showdown between two national teams. Boston College will battle number 23 Maryland. Coverage begins with our basketball tip-off show at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, only on FSN. Check your local listings. Greg Smith, of course, is an outstanding low-post player, and Sheldon Williams is the same. And he only strengthened his game over the summer. He told us about it.
You know, America, is a lot more physical than it is overseas, and playing against, those two different styles, really helped my game and allowed me to do and test a lot of stages and just a different extended post series.
We should also mention with the new duties that Mike Krzyzewski has as head coach of United States national team from now until 2008. Jerry Colangelo tabbed him as the United States coach. You can bet a few Duke players will be involved in the next few years in a lot more international play. Spoon, just in, knocks down a trade, and the Hokies lead by 1.
Tim, we were talking about interchangeable parts for Virginia Tech, and having Winton Witherspoon back really helps them. He's a young man who can shoot it from the perimeter, can put it on the deck and go by.
Potsus working on Witherspoon. You said it, he's got some outstanding skills.
Really play on the offensive end. Dowdell's got to watch the 5-second count here.
floater by Xavier Dowdell.
How did he get it up over Williams and McRoberts? You got to be kidding.
Time winding down. Boat Seuss. At the break, it's Virginia Tech by 1 over the #1 team in the Collins. Absolutely on fire. 15 points in the opening half to lead Seth Greenberg's team. Coming off the loss to Ohio State and Columbus. They played well in the second half. Let's go down now. I believe Larry Conley is standing by with Duke assistant Chris Collins. Larry?
Well, Chris, it was a seesaw affair in the first half. It looked like both coaches were making a lot of adjustments. What has been the difficulty with guarding Virginia Tech?
Well, we didn't do a good job off the dribble. They really drove us right away, and then we kind of lost our composure a little bit. We just settle down, play our defense, and do a better job in the second half.
Is that what Coach K was upset about, was the physicalness of the game?
I think we want our team to play better defense. That's how our identity is, how we play on our pressure defense, and we didn't come out with a good mindset.
Okay, Chris, thank you. Timmy?
All right, Larry. Now let's join Mike Goldberg, Harry Clark, from our studios in Atlanta for the Lowe's halftime show. Gentlemen.
Virginia Tech can afford to have Vasayo with 1 foul, much more than Duke can afford to have Reddick with 3.
Take a look at the numbers in the first half, our accurate stats on the first dead ball. Virginia Tech with possession as we open the second half.
Tim, we talked before the game about how important it was that Virginia Tech start the game well. They did, and now they've really got to produce at the start of the second half.
Williams the rebound, the outlet to Paulus. Reddick was not ready for that pass. Let's go down to Larry. He has.
Tim, let's take a look at the accurate stats, and I think there are 2 team stats that jump out to me. One is Duke's three-point shooting. 0 for 8 in the first half. That is very unlike this Duke basketball team. And the other one is bench points. Virginia Tech 15, Duke only 4. A lot of that belongs to Dowdell.
Yeah, and normally he'd be a starter, which skews the stat to a certain extent. But we talked about those interchangeable parts. Winton Witherspoon, Marcus Sales. They have stepped in and not skipped a beat for Seth Green.
Well, you notice Virginia Tech, they're not really putting a lot of pressure on the ball.
Oh, there's a steal by Gordon.
When you're not out pressuring the ball and somebody drives by, it's a little easier to defend the drive. It appears that the Hokies don't really have a lot of respect for Duke's three-point shooting other than J.J. Reddick.
Dowdell blows by Paulus, gives it up to Washington.
And on the other hand, Duke is trying to pressure the ball, but the Virginia Tech guard, great job penetrating by and finding the open man.
Hokies with their largest lead of the night of 3. Paulus ties it.
Tim, that's just what we were talking about. Jamon Gordon playing way off Paulus. Certainly you'll get the attention of the Virginia Tech defense if you start to make some of those.
That's the 10th tie that we've had in tonight's game.
And you'll notice that's the first three-point field goal in the game for Duke.
Collins. Well, that's the first time he's missed from that range. Gordon gets the offensive rebound. Sales, Gordon, Dowdell, Collins, and Washington on the floor for the Hokies.
See how much room Virginia Tech has given Dowdell to drive to the basket. That was good defense by Duke on that occasion.
McRoberts with the outlet to Reddick. J.J. with a pull-up. Just not there, and a foul on the backside from Durham, Washington.
And that's a foul that Sheldon Williams does a great job running the court. 3 fouls now on Durham, Washington. Sheldon Williams at the top of your screen here going to the basket, and that's what you have to do. What a great job he does getting position on the fast break.
Two and a half minutes gone by here in the second half at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Virginia Tech and Duke deadlocked. Count it, and a foul. Collins is guilty. He's took it right to the window.
Boy, that's a great move by Sheldon Williams. And I don't know why Coleman Collins would be out there and standing with his hands up. You don't want to stand with your hands up while the guy still has his dribble available. Sheldon Williams doing a great job recognizing, just going right by.
First foul on Coleman Collins.
You want to get out and pressure the ball, but you have to be in a defensive stance so the guy can't drive by you.
Dowdell tough shot. Right in front of the Virginia Tech bench.
I think another little danger zone here for Virginia Tech. Duke has come out. They now have the three-point lead, but there's a foul on McRoberts.
McRoberts gets the foul, and Mike Krzyzewski was setting up a 1-4 set. And then McRoberts elbow.
And that is against the specialist in drawing offensive fouls. That is the 17th time this year that Durham Washington has drawn an offensive foul.
He's that really difficult matchup. He's a matchup issue for every team he plays. Even for the most part in the turnover department in tonight's game. Sean Harris back on the floor with Sales. Marcus Sales comes up empty, but there's Gordon taking the air ball and putting it in as Collins tips it through.
When Collins really acted around the basket, Shelton Williams had to go and help out against Gordon. Nobody available to block out Collins, and he has taken advantage of that situation twice tonight.
That was just a case of keeping the ball alive long enough. Paulus on the dribble drive, comes up dry.
Had to Washington and couldn't do it.
And Sheldon Williams is getting all he wants and then some from Coleman Collins. Been one heck of an inside matchup. What a pass! Gordon to Washington.
Tim, that was a good look, but it was a better catch. That ball was thrown behind Washington. How he caught that and was able to keep his pivot foot is amazing.
42-41 Tech. Dockery on the wing.
And again, that's a big basket. Dockery out there at all.
Harris in traffic. And Williams will pick up the foul.
Boy, Williams better be careful.
He threw up his hand in disgust.
Jamon Gordon dribbles to the basket. Now he finds Washington inside, but that pass is behind him. Washington catches it, dunks it home.
Guys, this is a Silverado. It has more horsepower and torque than Ford or Dodge. Paper flowers? Tin cans? I love weddings.
Now get an 06 Silverado half-ton crew cab LS two-wheel drive for a red tag price starting under $22,700 after cash back. See your local Chevy dealer.
Be brilliant this holiday with a half-carat diamond necklace, just from Zales.
No, it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Girl, I'm leaving you tomorrow. Yeah. Ooh, that's why I'm easy.
They don't care that Valero Energy Corporation is the nation's largest independent refiner, or that we're an industry leader in the production of environmentally clean energy products, or that our 4,600 stores market food and fuel to keep most of North America going. They just know that among the thousands of Valero employees who volunteer for community service every day, there's one who has energy to sell. Valero, the energy to take you anywhere.
Duke leads by 2. Tomorrow, Pac-10 basketball returns to FSN. The Golden Gophers of Minnesota invade the desert to take on Arizona State. Coverage begins at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, only on FSN. Tim Brando, Dan Bonner, Larry Conley. Larry, you noticed some offensive spacing for Virginia Tech in the opening moments of this half.
Yeah, in the second half, I've noticed Seth Greenberg's moves, particularly with Dowdell handling the basketball. They're really spreading the floor and getting good looks at the basket. When they get inside, if they don't stop those guys one-on-one penetration, they're finding open people underneath or getting the good look at the basket. And by the way, I wanted to tell both of you that I picked up my microphone 4 times without a headband.
We'll put that one on the stat sheet. 44-44. Paulus, Melchione, Reddick, Williams, and Dockery for Duke. Harris, Gordon, Washington, Collins, and Marcus Sales for Virginia Tech. Another steal and deuce.
Well, Sean Harris, you know, he has been pretty impressive. He got the start tonight, has only played in 3 games prior to this game. Only 3 of the 7 Virginia Tech games prior to tonight, but he's actually done it.
And the other thing about him, because of his size, he's got a lot of girth as a guard. He's very difficult to get around at times.
Well, and now that's one that the Duke coaching staff was really upset about. Neither official saw that when each one of the officials blocked out by that. That was actually kicked out of bounds by Virginia Tech, but the officials didn't see it.
Should have had a delay game, or at least a warning.
Well, no, it's just a kick ball.
Or was it, Cal? I thought we had a kick ball that delayed the game. I misunderstood. 44, Virginia Tech by 2.
That ball was off the Hokies and out of bounds. But the Hokies, that's a break for them. Now here's what Larry was talking about. They're trying to spread the court, create a lot of room. See an isolation there for Jamon Gordon.
Collins.
And that's a good shot attempt. You get Jamon Gordon inside. McRoberts and Williams both come to help, and that frees Coleman Collins for a little jumper. Keep in mind, Collins played all 20 minutes in the first half. He may be wearing down a little bit.
Yeah, we're accustomed to seeing guards play 40-minute games. Certainly J.J. Redick has had his fair share for Duke. But Coleman Collins, you wouldn't expect that. Jamon Gordon picked up the foul, his 3rd.
Now Collins played all 20 minutes in the first half, and he has played the entire second half. But Virginia Tech really doing a nice job preventing Duke from running. Not a lot of movement on the part of the Blue Devils at the moment.
Reddick has really been the only 3-pointer that's been defended by Virginia Tech. They've sloughed off on every other perimeter shooter. Dowdell and Gordon really beginning to get into the flow. That's Jamon, who's done a lot for this team. Junior out of Jacksonville, and a timeout, Duke. Seth Greenberg's he's come into Cameron Indoor Stadium, where Mike Krzyzewski has only lost 4 times in his career. He's been the maestro so far.
Everybody wants it.
The top critics are calling Syriana brilliant. 4 stars.
This is a fight to the death.
One of the year's best films.
Corruption is our protection. Corruption is why we win.
It's light years from the standard Hollywood movie.
Who's worried about me talking?
Fascinating and suspenseful. It's sheer entertainment.
Who's worried?
Syriana, 9th.
Dad.
Hey, buddy.
Could you read me a story? Football.
That's okay. I can freeze time.
Whoa.
Introducing the DirecTV Plus DVR.
Do it again.
Finally, an easy-to-use DVR that gives you the power to pause and rewind live TV, so you'll never miss a second of what's important to you.
Somebody up there loves you. DirecTV.
Get a free DirecTV Plus DVR when you sign up now. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Place like home for the holiday.
For holiday entertaining, there's nothing like this new Frigidaire Speed Bake Double Oven. It's just one of 250 brand name appliances Lowe's has in stock, all at prices that can't be beat. Take one home today or have it delivered tomorrow free. We'll even haul the old one away free. And Lowe's holiday gift to you, pay nothing for 6 months when you use your Lowe's card.
Home, sweet home.
48-44, Virginia Tech leading Duke here on ACC Sunday Night Hoops. Take a look at J.J. Redick, who's certainly in the record books. And our accurate numbers tell you that Curtis Staples of Virginia leads the way. He only needs J.J. 8 to pass Trajan Langdon to become the all-time 3-point bomber at Duke. But an 0 tonight.
It has been a difficult night from beyond the 3-point arc for J.J. Redick. He has not had very many open looks. Virginia Tech doing a really good job staying close to him. And as you mentioned, Tim, Virginia Tech really hasn't pushed out and defended other guys from beyond the 3-point arc.
Larry Conley pointed that out to us at halftime. Seth Greenberg's defense tonight has been as Larry termed it, a soft man-to-man, everyone really sloughing off the three-point shooters and then sagging in on Williams. Dockery knocking down a trade might change things.
Well, that's 2 3-point baskets for Dockery in the second half, and that's exactly what you have to do against a defense that's going to collapse on the inside, as the Virginia Tech defense has been doing a good part of the evening.
That and forcing Duke to play a lot of defense.
Now you have Collins and Harris over here by themselves on the side.
Harris.
Now that's not a good decision by Harris right there.
Lost out of bounds by Virginia Tech, gets a break.
When you're going to run these isolations, when you're going to try to create mismatches in space and a guy drives into the lane, it's really important that he make a good decision. And Sean Harris did not make a good decision that time.
Not quite 7 minutes deep here in the second half. Number 1 Duke trailing by 1. Tim Brando, Dan Bonner, Larry Conley with you. You know, something else we should mention about this week for the Blue Devils, and again, you can have a storied program. It's been said he's not just a head coach anymore, he's a cultural icon here in Krzyzewskiville. But in truth, they're still a young team. Yes, they have some veteran parts and some youthful parts to this team, but they play Texas this weekend, a number 1 versus number 2 matchup in New York. It's rare that you'd say a conference game could possibly be overlooked. Something to consider, the timing of this game as a conference matchup in December versus 2 matchup in the regular season of college basketball this early in the season. Lost ball, this will be an easy one for Dockery.
Tim, a lot of times when you're struggling on the offensive end, and particularly with your shooting, as Duke has done tonight, the way you get it straightened around is you make some plays on defense and get easy baskets. That's been a Duke trademark. That's what they did right there.
Dowdell knocks it down.
Now, Dowdell is a guy who's capable of making big baskets. Gives Virginia Tech the lead once again.
50-49. Understand our graphics Fox box has broken down for the moment, so we'll continue to update you on the score every time a ball goes through the hoop. Williams does just that, and it's 51-50. 19 for the landlord. Gordon gives it up to Washington. Boy, that in-between game, he's got it.
But Tim, there you see once again, they spread the court. They create an opportunity for Gordon to drive. He gets in the lane. The help has to come. He kicks it off to somebody and knocks down a jump shot.
11 ties, 14 lead changes. McRoberts fouled by Washington.
And a little turnabout right there. J.J. Redick taking the ball into the lane, drawing.
And that was a bad foul to give up by Washington. His 4th. A player that Seth Greenberg really needs on the floor, and he'll have to be careful the rest of the way. Timeout.
This holiday, get them the real thing. The CRFFs from Honda. Engineered for years of trouble-free performance. Everything else is just a toy. For just $29 a month, bring home a genuine Honda CRFF and really make their holiday. Plus, get $200 in bonus bucks.
Give entertainment. Give fun. Give possibilities. From MP3 players to digital cameras to gift cards. This holiday at Best Buy.
Let's go back to the presentation. Okay. Look at how
Traffic's not moving very well on the 10. This is due to a stall.
Wherever you want to go.
they're thinking, the new Arby's Market Fresh Reuben sandwich. Choose corned beef or turkey, melted Swiss, Thousand Island dressing, and sauerkraut on toasted marble rye. Also try our new loaded potato bites with Cool Ranch sour creams. I'm thinking Arby's.
52-51, you're looking at Greg Paulus there, who captured the imagination of many at the Nike Hoop Summit back in April. 10 assists, a couple of points in that game. And Martinez Potsus had 20 points in that game. The United States won 106-98. And it may be that Paulus and Potsus down the stretch will be called upon to do the damage for against Seth Greenberg's team, who's given them all they wanted and then some.
Well, it'll be interesting to see the adjustments that are made as we go down through the second half of this second half. The Duke has hit some from the perimeter, and that might cause Virginia Tech to come out a little bit. And for, I think, the Duke defense, they actually have to back off slightly and not let Virginia Tech beat them off the dribble.
Look out. You could see it coming. The landlord offered, and Reddick had 55-52, a 4-point play for the Blue Devils.
That might be the first open look he's had tonight, Tim.
Collins reads the double team. There was contact.
Well, he saw the double team, Tim, but he tried to shoot up through it. Big possession right here, I think, in terms of the whole tenor of this game.
Virginia Tech, as Larry mentioned in the first half, tempests of emotion, something that you can do 2, maybe 3 times. How about a 4th or 5th time? Particularly when you've got players like Collins that have been out there all night. Nice defensive play. Dowdell and Gordon. Wow.
How many times in this game have we seen a little streak maybe by Duke building, and that guy, Xavier Dowdell, has an answer for it. What a game he's had.
Quicker hands. Absolutely quicker hands. Paulus. The iron down by Collins. $55-54.
Gives you some idea of the versatility of these Virginia Tech guards. Here's Jamon Gordon handling the ball.
Gordon with Dowdell, Collins. Marcus Sales on the floor along with Chris Tucker. Tucker setting that pick. Paulus fights through it. Shot clock down to 6. A floater. High, arching off the window. 56-55.
They just cannot guard Xavier Dowdell. It looks like he can go by anybody he wants to, anytime he wants to.
Reddick, jump stop. 57-56. I really don't see Virginia Tech going away. This looks like it could come down to the wire. Well, 5-second ball. Cameron Indoor Stadium to site. ACC Sunday Night Hoops. Tim Brando alongside Dan Bonner and Larry Conley. Very happy to have you with us. Our debut edition of Sunday Night Basketball. Double dose. Georgia Tech the winner earlier tonight against Virginia at Alexander Memorial Coliseum. Melchione gets his first 3. Timeout, Virginia Tech.
Tim, we've been talking about the job that the Virginia Tech defense has done, particularly Jamon Gordon. We're out on J.J. Reddick. Very tough for Reddick trying to get in position as he goes up. Gordon just slaps, Dowdell just slaps the ball away. And then Xavier Dowdell with the pull-up jumper. And then this is something Dowdell has done very well all night long. Gets past the defender. That time Paulus out on the perimeter. What a nice floater up over Shelton Williams. But the Duke Blue Devils now start to hit from beyond 3-point range. Well, Duke 5 of 8 shooting threes in the second half.
You could not expect them, and I'm sure Seth Greenberg knew he would not get an 0 for 8 second half as he did in the first half from the Blue Devils.
Well, if you have to start pushing out on everybody shooting threes, if you got to go out and get Melchione, and it's going to open things up on the inside. And now I think Virginia Tech is pretty much in a must-score situation right here.
Witherspoon.
He traveled.
Yep. And Seth Greenberg is saying to Carl Hess, why him? Why him? Why not you? And he's still giving it to Carl Hess. Reddick. Gordon the rebound. Look at Collins run the floor. Williams really, those two bigs know how to get up and down the floor. 23 in the white and blue. And
well, here you got a mismatch here. They've got Melchioni matched up against Gordon. Everybody backing off. That's a nice job by Reddick to come out and make the pickup.
And he drains the three. That is an in-your-face three.
Yeah, but I think that's a three that in that situation you almost have to give up. You don't want Gordon not noted as a great three-point shooter, although he's got a very high percentage this year.
Well, if you wanted a must-make, that was an appropriate time for a three. The answer from Dockery.
Boy, what a big basket that was.
There's the blow-by. Oh, how about that from Jaman? He is jamming tonight. 63-61.
A guy like Gordon, a guy like Daldell Sales, they can really problems for you out on the perimeter.
Reddick. Arguably one of the greatest shooters in the modern era of college basketball, struggling. And another steal. Dockery feeds Melchioni, and he hits the deck.
That's an intentional foul.
Yep, and they call it.
And the reason it's an intentional foul, Tim, is the degree of the contact there. It's not only if you don't make a play on the ball, there's Gordon taken right to the basket, and then as Duke takes the ball down to the other end from behind.
Good call. We'll be back.
Toyotathon is back. For 27 years, it's been the greatest time to buy the Toyota you're looking for. Quality, selection, value. You'll find it in every vehicle we build. Check out the Tundra Double Cab with the XSP Sport Package. It comes with 20-inch alloy wheels, leather seats, and more. Now with available cash back and the XSP Sport Package discount, get $4,000 in total savings on the 06 Tundra Double Cab. The place is your Toyota dealer. The time is now. Treat yourself today. Toyota, moving forward.
Critics across America are calling Syriana brilliant. 4 stars.
This is about our interests in the region.
It's fascinating and suspenseful.
They want to kill someone that hasn't done anything wrong.
Light years from the standard Hollywood movie.
Take the target out.
Sheer entertainment value.
Why am I being investigated?
2 very big thumbs up. One of the year's best films.
This is a fight to the death.
Syriana, rated R, starts December 9th.
Be brilliant with a past, present, future collection from Zales. Be brilliant this holiday with this half-carat past, present, future collection. Just $4.99 each at Zales.
This week on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Sackman, can the Giants still be the beasts of the NFC East? Plus, Trojan duo Lendale White and Reggie Bush. Why, they are part of the best backfield in the history of tailback U. Coach Mike Ditka. How does the current Bears D stack up against his 1985 shuffling crew? This week at 10:30.
Duke by 2, 7:24 to play, and watch tonight. Our Acura student of the game is Patrick Johnson. Young man pursuing now his master's in political science, and also got a scholarship last year. He was an original walk-on, and of course everyone remembers his play against North Carolina State, and got to start that game against Wake Forest last year. He and Patrick Davidson. Seth Greenberg right now will have to endure watching Lee Melchioni.
And an opportunity here for the Duke Blue Devils. They lead by 2. Melchioni with 2 free throws, then Duke will get the ball.
And the intentional foul was certainly warranted in that sequence. But I think the toughness question, which is something Seth Greenberg was most concerned about coming in tonight, making sure that the work done last year in becoming an 8-8 team, and usually that's good enough to get you in the NCAAs when you be built on tonight. A look at Paulus. get the loose ball.
Coaches always tell you, Tim, you don't try to recover a loose ball by dribbling it. You pick it up. Jamon Gordon tried to recover that one off the dribble, and as a result, he lost the ball.
And Sales will pick up the foul, trying to get through that pit.
Tim, one thing I think that's an important factor right here is that Durham Washington for Virginia Tech has those 4 fouls, and he has gone to the bench. And no offense to Tucker, but he is simply not the player that Durham Washington is.
Reddick, count it.
There's that swing, 5 points, Tim. You get the 2 free throws and then the 3-pointer coming off that intentional foul.
And by the way, that 4th foul committed by Washington was a rejection against Williams. It was the wrong time to pick up that kind of foul. Tucker rejected by the landlord, but that will be controlled to Virginia Tech. And Seth Greenberg helps J.J. Reddick up off the hardwood.
You know, we talk about Reddick and his struggles shooting the ball, but he's a guy who just keeps coming at you. He's now got 16 points in the game, has hit a couple of threes here in the second half, and Seth Greenberg can't afford to wait anymore. Durham Washington comes back in the game.
And he's got to play smart. I mentioned his mom and dad, and his mom is here tonight. Made the drive. It's about a 3-hour or so drive from Blacksburg, Virginia to Durham, North Carolina. There's the pull-up for 3. Not this time for Dowdell.
15 rebounds now for Sheldon Williams. And Dowdell has had an answer every other time tonight. Virginia Tech in a big danger zone right here, down 7. Need a defensive stop. Looking for it inside.
Well, that's a good defensive play, particularly given the fact that he has 4 fouls, and I believe he's a little guilty too.
Well, I think he's got a cramp now. He just tries to get in there. Remember, we said his specialty was drawing charges. Coming into the game, he had drawn 16 of them. That's his second one tonight, but I think he's got a cramp right at the moment.
Yeah. Like Shishef, there's Denise. Denise Washington, and I mentioned earlier she played basketball herself at Xavier of New Orleans. So it's an athletic family to be sure. Let's go down to Larry Conley. Larry?
You know, Tim, you and Dan sitting up there in the high heavens and me down here, and me down here on the floor, you know, it is an interesting perspective to watch the game from down here. I mean, most of the time we're down here on the floor level. I got to tell you something I've noticed about the Hokies right now. Their legs are a little soft. They're short. Their shots are beginning to come up a little bit short. And I think what's beginning to happen is that offense and the passing doesn't look as crisp as it did early stages of the second half.
Yeah, well, you're right, Larry. And because of presumed fatigue and granted foul difficulty has something to do with these guys, particularly Collins having to play all of the minutes, that can become an issue. I'm impressed with how well he's run the floor tonight, having played every minute.
Well, the guy who's impressive, I mean, it's hot in here. He's been running around all night long is J.J. Reddick. He looks like the Energizer Bunny.
He does. Collins, strong to the basket.
And, of course, maybe it helps that Reddick got those 3 fouls and had to spend some time on the bench in the first half. Reddick only played 14 minutes in the first half.
Uncharted waters for him after playing 40 minutes in Bloomington the other night. Defense by Collins. Back up, counted, and a foul on Collins. Well, it was a good sequence for a moment. But Collins made a mistake challenging the second time.
You know, Tim, we've done some talking tonight about how J.J. Reddick can put the ball on the floor and go by you. This isn't going by anybody. He just muscles that ball to the basket, then pulls down the rebound. You could have called the foul on either Collins or Tucker there. But watch him get the ball. He fakes, pulls his way to the basket, creates space in there. 17 rebounds in the game for Sheldon Williams to go along with 21 points and 5 blocked shots. What a game he's had.
There's Reddick. How many more of these can they endure? Loose ball taken away by Tucker. Outlet to Dowdell. deflected by Melchione. Yeah, I think Larry's point about the speed of the game, Duke seems to be the quicker team right now. And Reddick's one of the reasons why. Largest lead, it's up to 10 with 4.5 to play. One of those moments, one of those onslaughts right now. Gordon stripped by Dockery and fouled by Gordon.
Tim, J.J. Redick is just relentless. What a great behind-the-back dribble, then that step-back jump shot from the free throw line. What an outstanding play by Redick, and this is a guy who had 3 fouls. He's now got 19 points in the game.
Jamon Gordon picked up his 4th foul. Let's go back down to Larry.
J.J. Redick and Sheldon Williams play for 4 years now. And you know, I was thinking today about when they came in as freshmen and how much they have changed in the 4 years that they've been here. Sheldon Williams used to be just a low post guy. All he did was occupy the block, stand in there, and they feed him the ball. He is so much more active now, facing up, shooting jump shot, putting the ball on the floor. And J.J. Redick used to be content with that 3-point shot. Hey, he has gotten himself in shape. He's going up and down the floor. He can get it to the rim. Such a change in these two players over a 4-year period.
And Larry, I think that's really a very good point, because these guys were very highly touted high school players, but to be in an environment like this, to play at a program that plays games at this level, at this intensity, night in and night out, these guys have really improved their skills, and I think there's a lesson there for a lot of young players.
Seth Greenberg, always quick with a quip, probably has one of the greatest lines on J.J. Redick. He's time zone, but he shoots in the central time zone. He's Reggie Miller-esque.
Well, you talk about Redick and Sheldon Williams. You may be able to guard both of them. You may be able to guard one of them all the time and both of them some of the time, but you can't guard both of them all of the time, and that is what happened. They just keep such pressure on you because they are both relentless offensively.
As well as the Hokies have played for 30-plus minutes, it may be getting so much of what they've done right, you want to be able to remember. And Duke's onslaught is still on.
One of the things that Virginia Tech did very well is they scored consistently. There's another charge drawn by Durham, Washington, and Virginia Tech's offense has abandoned them here.
3rd foul by McRoberts. Washington still favoring that. Charlie Horse it is. 3:52 remaining, an 11-point lead for the #1 team in the country. Which begins with the Acura College Basketball Tip-Off Show right after our game, right here on FSN. Can't wait to see Adam Morrison again.
Tim, in that 11-2 run, remember where it started. It started with that intentional foul. Melchione converted the free throws, and then Redick hit the 3.
Washington dribbling through the double team and is fouled.
Tim, and unlike earlier in the game, the ball one dribble too far. Coleman Collins was wide open on the inside, and he missed him.
Dockery got the foul, his 3rd. Dowdell triggers it in. Witherspoon in traffic, fouled by Melchione.
I'll tell you what, when you catch the ball down inside, you better get it up really quickly because Sheldon Williams is coming.
We're talking about Witherspoon with he said he thought he might be able to get about 15 or so minutes out of him. This is a young man who's going to be very valuable to Virginia Tech. We talked about the interchangeable parts. This is a deeper team, and it's also a team, Dan, that has a better understanding of where they are on the ACC food chain. Well, this time last year, Virginia Tech got out to a 4-2 start, and people were like, what is it with these guys? Or were they overlooked? Well, they're not going.
No, if they had the element of surprise last year, Tim, they've certainly lost it this year. Quentin Witherspoon had earned a starting job in preseason practice until he broke that foot, and they're really hoping that he can get back quickly. Just give him another option.
Duke spreading the floor. In a 10-point cushion and just over 3 to play, they want to milk some clock. Reddick slapped away by Washington. And again, playing with 4 fouls. Witherspoon lost it. Out of bounds, Melchioni had the ball, and it's out of bounds to Virginia Tech.
A little bit out of control that time by Virginia Tech, but you've only got 3 minutes left. You're down by 10. You feel a sense of urgency, but despite that sense of urgency, you have to continue to make good decisions, because if you get in a big rush, it's going to be hard to score.
Gordon working on Dockery. Oh, a scoop to the hoop off the glass. 10 for him, 74-66.
It's a good matchup here, Gordon against Reddick.
Excellent defense by Gordon in that sequence. Forced a tougher shot than J.J. wanted to take. Dowdell to Collins. Coleman Collins has 21, and it's a 2-possession game.
Boy, and here come the Hokies. They've been doing throughout the second half. Penetrate to the basket, draw the defense, dump it off for the easy one.
They just won't go away. Blue Devils thought they had them buried a minute and a half ago. They were up by 11. And now they've carved it to 6. And they did it with defense first, and then on the other end, they got the play they wanted on the offensive end. An easy deuce for Coleman Collins, who had been quiet for quite some time. Here's the Staples easy play of the game, and successful. They'll need more of that this season.
And that certainly was an easy play created by created by Xavier Dowdell to drive into the lane and find the open man. It's always easy when you draw the entire defense to you and somebody's all alone.
J.J. Reddick on the other end has had difficulty getting good looks at the basket tonight. But you know the green light is always on.
J.J. Reddick is a guy who, as Larry indicated a little earlier, he's a guy who can do it in a variety of ways. The mid-range jump shot, driving the ball to the basket, shooting the 3, and certainly getting to the free throw line.
J.J. Reddick, senior from Roanoke, Virginia, was the player of the year in that state. As you look at our game summary, those 3 responsible for 55 of the Blue Devils points. A more quiet second half for Collins, and Duke able to get to the free throw line a bit more than Virginia Tech, but not the discrepancy ago when they blew out the Hokies in the first of 2 games in the ACC. And you see those upcoming games. Bucknell, by the way, talked to Jimmy Boeheim about the Bison, and Texas before that, of course, in that game we were talking about that will be in New York. It's very rare that you see a 1 versus 2 matchup, an intersectional matchup like that this early in the college basketball season.
Yeah, on December the 10th, and there's Virginia Tech's schedule. That Saturday game will Fox Sports Net. Another rebound. Sheldon Williams is getting close to 2020, Tim.
Yeah. Offensive rebounds have really helped Duke in the second half.
Williams with 18 rebounds in the game to go along with his 21 points.
And think about the times they've come up, maybe on a missed free throw. There's another steal, though. Gordon feeds Dowdell to Washington, and he's fouled by Williams.
Now, that's not a bad foul in that situation, and if you're going to commit the foul, you have to make sure that you commit it hard enough that he doesn't get the dunk.
I tell you, I am so impressed with how quickly, though, the Hokies are able to go from defense to offense.
Here's Jamon Gordon operating, and Xavier Dowdell. What a nice job, a quick pass. But there's Sheldon Williams. We've talked a lot about his ability to run the court when he's going from defense to offense. That time making the transition from offense to defense, he was just as fast down the court. Picks up his personal foul, but I think that's only his second.
Ron Washington. It was the third on Sheldon
Williams.
But with only 1:38, it should be a non-factor.
Washington only a 66% free throw shooter.
Soft-spoken young man with a very high ceiling for this game. Played in Maryland at National Christian Academy. And I think that he's matured and mentally. 74-70, 10 points for him. Well, we said 10 minutes ago we didn't think they'd go away, and they haven't. 7-0 run for Virginia Tech. Answering that 11-2 spurt by Duke after the intentional foul against Melchione. That got him in what was a 5-point sequence for Duke.
And now you see Virginia Tech reverting back to the strategy that we saw earlier, trying to put great pressure on J.J. Redick and helping off of the other perimeter guys.
Considering the way the defense has been played by both teams, it's of note that only 15 team fouls committed between the two, and Redick comes up empty again. Collins, oh, what a move! Right past the landlord for the jam. 74-72, 23 for Collins.
Tim, Duke has gotten very conservative offensively. They're trying to spread the court, and they simply haven't executed.
Virginia Tech does have one timeout remaining. Seth Greenberg wants a stop, and then he has his option, but Mike Krzyzewski will beat him to the... So the Hokies do have a timeout remaining. And the Blue Devils have one as well. Take a look at this baseline drive, Dan.
Well, Xavier Dowdell again draws the defense, and I think Sheldon Williams thought he was closer to the baseline than he actually was. He looked surprised that Coleman Collins is able to go around. That's one of those situations as the defender, you got to take and put your foot on that baseline, so if the guy's going around you, he's going out of bounds. But Dowdell, watch, three guys come. Sheldon Williams, he turns his head toward Dowdell, and Dowdell makes an excellent pass to Coleman Collins, who takes it right to the goal.
Yeah, you're saying he thought he had closed off the line.
I believe he thought he was closer to the baseline than he really was, but you saw him turn his shoulders towards Xavier Dowdell, and then he's not able to get back.
39.2 remaining. Think about the play of Durham Washington. He's taken a couple of charges. He had a steal, slapping it away from Redick, all with 4 fouls with 6 minutes left.
Well, you said he'd have to play with some intelligence, and he certainly has.
Shot clock at 7. Redick nearly lost it. Now he has to force it up. Washington takes it out of the air.
Tim, the last couple of possessions for Duke, they simply have not gotten a good shot attempt.
And in timeout, Virginia Tech with 15.8 remaining. Seth Greenberg his team an opportunity to get an advantage, and then suddenly saw that maybe there was confusion and had plenty of time to get the timeout to set something up.
Tim, and that...
Xavier Dowdell comes out exhorting the Cameron Crazies, saying, yeah, bring some more. We're enjoying it. He'll trigger the inbounds.
Oh, you ought to do that after you score, not before.
A reach in, nearly taken away, and then a foul. A foul committed for the loose ball by Dockery, and it's 1-and-1 tie. Remember, I mentioned team fouls were only at 15 between them. That's the 16th team foul of the half. Both teams.
Gordon down. Watch here. He's going for the ball, but Gordon goes down. If Gordon stays up, that's no foul.
He's 69% at the free throw line. Jamon Gordon, junior from Jacksonville. Andrew Jackson High School. 1 for 2 tonight. He has a low trajectory shot. Oh, the iron tantalizingly climbed. Oh, and he knew it.
As you say, only a 69% free throw shooter, but if you want a guy to make a play, this is one of your guys.
Too hard again. Pulled down by Williams. Fouled by Washington. That's his fifth. Gordon.
Tim, you'd like to make that free throw, of course, but in that situation, that's not a bad foul by Durham Washington. It is his fifth, but what you have to do is stretch the game out a little bit, and now Sheldon Williams goes down. Even if he makes both free throws, it's still only a 3-point game, and Virginia Tech will have a chance to come down and tie with the 3, although it's going to be harder without Durham Washington.
Vasallo is A.D. Vasallo is on the floor. He is a 3-point shooter. Washington.
And Sheldon Williams comes in at only a 64% free throw shooter. If you're the Hokies, you really have to block out now.
Yeah, they have given up a lot of offensive rebounds at the free throw line with Duke shooting them. Not this time. Gordon gets the rebound. It's a one-point game.
But now you can win it with a 2. You don't have to go for the 3.
Dowdell, a pull-up. Puts it in with a tick remaining. Coleman Collins tips it in.
Tim, the score of this game was Duke 74 and Virginia Tech 63. So the Virginia Tech Hokies have scored 12 consecutive points over a 3-minute and 51-second stretch. And Xavier Dowdell just beats his man out of the perimeter, beats Dockery, draws the defense, and great spot to tip it in. This has been an outstanding effort by Virginia Tech. And you know, if you're Sheldon Williams in that situation, Tim, you either have to go for the block or you got to get back and block out. He got halfway in between, and as a result, he got neither the block out nor the block.
By the way, in the celebration, Jamon Gordon hurt himself. Shortly after the tip-in occurred, Jamon Gordon came down, epping off the floor.
You get another look at it here. Xavier Dowdell gets past. The help comes. Nobody blocks out Coleman Collins.
A career-high 25 for Coleman Collins. Now 1 second left. What miracle can be from within? The referees are apparently looking to see how much time should be remaining on the clock after the ball goes through the hoop. And I think there could be 1.7 seconds. Remember, the ball must go through the hoop completely, and then the time remaining can become official.
Tim, you're right. That's what the discussion is.
All
right
the way
now.
through the net.
Well, the rule is that on a basket in the last minute, the clock stops.
Yes, yes.
And so I think that you could have anywhere between like 1.5 and 2 seconds going back up there. And of course, do an awful lot in about 2 or 2.3 seconds.
Yes, yes.
Although I don't see Christian Laettner and Grant Hill out there.
McRoberts will throw it in. Reddick, Williams are on the wings.
Now, Tim, and they're not going to put any time back on the clock.
5-2 Virginia Tech. Has come in here, and now against
well, they are
undefeated and #1 Duke. Now Carl Hess coming over. Apparently they are going to add some.
I think that they said they want a certain amount of time up on the clock, and then they went out and no time has been added to the clock. So they put 16 seconds up there. The crowd loves that, but they want 1.6.
Now there's a home court advantage, Seth Greenberg. Now, you know Seth is going to have fun with that.
Well, of course he's going to have fun with that. As long as he's ahead by a point, he's going to have lots of fun with that.
Virginia Tech, provided they...
Well, now what we have happening is we've got one of the Duke managers over there climbing up on the scorer's table, trying to help the guy running the clock get the clock set.
You recall, I know you do because you were with me, a game years ago when you remember the game when Randolph Chambers hit a three-point shot, but the clock operator thought it was a 2, and because of where we were located up here in the so-called catbird seat, the only player that knew it was a 3 was Grant Hill, and he rushed down to take a shot. Wait a minute, it's a tie game. You didn't have to rush. You remember that?
Absolutely. It's a long time ago. Time is my memory.
Yes, timekeeping and clock operations can be an issue at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Well, now we got 1.6 seconds left, and that manager, the Duke manager, is the one who got that straightened out.
By the way,
big assist to that young lady.
Yeah, and the thing to remember here is the extra time you have to actually launch a shot, provided the pass is completed.
And you can't commit a foul because that'll put Duke on the line.
The buzzer.
You've got to be kidding me.
Got it. Dockery does it for Duke again.
Now keep in mind, by rule, the officials have to look at this and make sure that this ball was released. Now the clock does not start till he catches. One dribble. Clearly that ball's out of his hands.
Had there been only 1 second left, it would not have counted.
Watch the Virginia Tech reaction. 1.6, you have enough time to catch and dribble, and that's what Dockery did. And Tim, you want to know if Virginia Tech has arrived in the ACC? The Duke students are rushing the court after a victory over Virginia Tech.
And many, including Greg Paulus, went to Coleman Collins, Xavier Dowdell, and others, and expressed incredible sportsmanship because they know they got away with one. Hickory, dickory, dockery.
Now that's just an unbelievable play by Dockery.
Oh boy, what a game. 19 in the game for him. And Sean Dockery, who was a defensive specialist when he became a guard here at Duke, well, he was on the 6 remaining tonight.
You know, that is a good unbalanced shot, and bingo!
Bango! Bongo! The ACC season is underway.
Right now.